Welcome back. I'm still with Talk's international editor, Isabel Oakeshott. Well, Isabel, we can forget about the competition for the two worst BS wafflers of the year. Keir Starmer and Macron have got that one sewn up. Macron promising that the migrant crossings require shared solutions and that concrete progress and tangible results will emerge from their summit today. Meanwhile, Starmer said the nonsense coming out of Starmer was really off the scale. He said that the Prime Minister spoke of the government's toughening of the system in the past year to ensure rules are respected, enforced, blah, blah, blah. The two leaders agreed on the need to go further and make progress on new innovative solutions, including a new deterrent to break the business model of these gangs. Both Mr Macron and Keir Starmer are aiming for, drumroll, concrete progress. Now let's talk, shall we, about this concrete progress. So, smash the gangs. Inherent in these discussions, as you talk about one-on-one, you know, the idea sort of was that for every migrant that comes here, we will send them back to France, but we'll send them an illegal migrant and they will send us back a legal migrant. I'm not quite sure what the logic of that is, and if you consider the migrant crisis essentially is numerical, we've got too many people coming into the country. How does swap the foreigner between Britain and France cure our numerical problem? It absolutely doesn't. But anyway, this is what... I don't know if you could say they've agreed this, but this is what they've seemed to have come up with. The UK may initially return 1 in 17 migrants to France in a one-in, one-out deal. That will mean that we'll send back, technically, 50 migrants a week. That's 2,600 over the next year, over the year after we get this deal in. 2,600. This year, 2025, it is expected that about 55,000 migrants will come across the channel illegally. 2,600 in our wildest dreams we send back to France. Doesn't sound like 1 in, 1 out to me, does it you?
No, and for the 2,000 whatever that we are supposedly going to send back, are they not just going to fill those spaces, as it were, with another 2,000? I mean, I really, really do not know what geniuses in Number 10 and the Foreign Office and the Cabinet Office have come up with this absolutely ludicrous scheme. Politically, it is a complete non-starter. How are they going to sell that to the voter? Oh, it's all right, folks. You know, we've got tens of thousands of people coming over, but we're going to send one back for everyone that we send back. We're going to get another one over. It doesn't make any sense.
It certainly doesn't.
What? It's just completely bonkers. You wonder about how these people sat round a table and thought, oh, yeah, I know how we're going to, quell public anger over this. We'll do a 1 in, 1 out migrant merry-go-round scheme. 1 in, 1 out, 1 in again.
Yeah.
The only thing that voters want is none in and all out.
Exactly right. Now, 5 EU nations have written to the European Commission to complain about this potential deal. Yeah. They are Italy, Spain, Malta, Greece and Cyprus. They say that, if we start sending migrants back to France, how do they know that they're not going to go off to Spain, Malta, Greece or Cyprus? They say that it materially affects their problems as they get migrants coming in from Africa and the Middle East. So they've already complained. The European Commission apparently has taken their complaint on board and is treating it seriously. In other words, this isn't going to happen. And by the way, as Starmer sat around discussing this ludicrous, harebrained scheme with his flunkies, do you think any of them would have had the guts to say, yeah, well, Keir, this 1 in, 1 out, well, I thought smash the gangs was going to solve the crisis. What happened to that?
I mean, let's just be very plain about why these other EU countries are complaining. Because it suits them very well. It suits all these EU member states very well to wave the migrants our way. I mean, none of these migrants migrants started off in France, did they? You know, they're not French refugees. They are, by and large, economic opportunists, many from North Africa, some from the Middle East. They've done all sorts of convoluted cross-continent journeys to get into France. Very few of them that make it as far as Calais ever intended to make France their final destination, because word has got out that the streets of Britain are paved with gold. Now, we all know they're not, and the more migrants that come here, the less gold there is. But the truth is that we are still a much softer touch and provide much more than pretty much anyone else. So it suits all the other EU member states that people can continue, the flow of migration continues to come in our direction. It doesn't surprise me at all that they want that to keep going. These are the vested interests. There are layer upon layer upon layer of vested interests in maintaining the status quo. And this government evidently just simply does not have the guts to do what it takes to stop the boats. And it does require radical action, as in you either turn them around or you make it very clear that it is an immediate incarceration on arrival, pending being deported. And until we do one or other of those things, nothing, no amount of ludicrous merry-go-round migrant games are going to solve this problem.
You know, I'd like to go to the House of Commons one day while there are all those MPs going, you see, the thing about the migrant crisis is so complex. There's no one easy solution. Really? I'd like to stand there and say, yes, there is. Turn the bloody boats round. That would work. But there are other solutions. So you could turn the boats round in the middle of the channel. That is eminently, legally and safely possible. OK, so it doesn't seem like they've got the guts to do that. So the next thing you could do is, as soon as they arrive, instead of saying, oh, no, you've applied, even though you came here illegally on an illegal boat and you haven't got a passport, so you've broken all of our laws, even though that you've done that, now that you've claimed asylum, you are legal. Well, we could stop that. As I think I've said to you before, this idea, when all these Guardian readers say, well, you don't understand, you see, as soon as they apply for asylum, they become legal. No, 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 they don't. That's a political decision. It isn't a legal decision. We've decided to let them stay if they claim asylum. So I would suggest getting rid of that. And therefore, when they arrive, we do detain and deport. So we detain them and then we send them back whence they came. And my third potential solution, which is the softest of the lot, but I think quite good, you know, all this stuff we give to them. You know, so they turn up here and we put them in a 4-star hotel. We give them 50 quid a week, free food, free accommodation, free doctors, free dentists, free driving lessons, free trampoline lessons, and so on and so forth. OK, but, you know, you can carry on giving them all that if you want. If we took away one thing, it would seriously, materially affect our asylum seeker problem. So what I suggest is this. They turn up here and they go, right, I'm claiming asylum. And we say, OK, you're going to fight that case legally, are you? Yes, I'm going to fight to stay here legally. I'm going to stake my legal claim to reside in Britain. We're the other and go, OK, you got any money? Because you have to pay for the lawyers. We are the only country in the world that gives migrants who break into the country legal aid. That, of all the nonsense we give these people, free trampoline lessons, for example, of all the nonsense we give these people, paying for their lawyers to fight their case to stay after they broke into our country illegally is the maddest. It's utterly insane. Why don't we just stop giving them legal aid?
Well, I wasn't aware that we're the only country in the world that does that, but it doesn't surprise me. It is obviously completely mad. And not only do we provide them with the lawyers, we also provide them with the translation services. You know, the cost of all of this is absolutely off the dial. And you can imagine the diversion of legal brains into this industry that could actually be helping the British people who've paid into the system and were born here and have nothing but good intentions of trying to make a contribution, however hard that may be. I just don't accept that this is complicated.
It's not, but
we are a sovereign nation. Yeah. We're not even in the EU anymore. And yes, we've signed up to international treaties. But no, seriously, are we going to become some kind of rogue state, some kind of international pariah, because we've taken measures to protect our national security? There is not a country in the world that would not understand, and indeed most likely be doing the very same many years ago, and would never let it have got this far, in order to protect the safety of their own citizens. So I simply don't accept that somehow or other, if we breach some highfalutin treaty that we signed back in 1953 or whenever it was, we're suddenly going to become North Korea or Iran. It's an absolute load of Islington lawyer twaddle, and we should run the experiment and see what happens.
We're going to go to break now, but I just want to ask the audience, give me a call. Do you think, folks, do you think that solving the migrant crisis is inherently, as MPs will tell you, left, right and centre till the cows come home, complex, complicated? Do you think it's complicated? Do you think it's complex? Or do you think it's actually quite simple? I think millions of people around the country, they look at this mess and they go, but this is simple. Turn the boats round. Arrest them when they get here. Don't give them legal aid. No, it's very complicated. It's very... You're just a member of the public. You don't understand. Yeah, the problem is we do. It's you lot in the House of Commons that don't understand. With certain honourable exceptions, of course.